God, I thought he got his head knocked in there. I don't know. Yeah. Well, a lot of times you guys think I'm Lou Holtz in it, and I think your eyes would tell you differently. That was a really, really good team that we found a way to finish. And what a game. And, you've heard me talk about this team and the character in that room. And character shows up when adversity hits, and adversity hit in a lot of ways for us tonight. And there was a lot of teams that wouldn't have found a way to win that game. And, we'll never apologize for a win. And it's a lot more fun to learn from winning than have to learn from losing. And but I'm just really proud of them, just to stay in the fight, stay in the fight, stay in the fight. And when you do that, and we kept turning it and trying to find different lineups and the right combinations, and and then you dealt with a little bit of foul trouble with the bigs, and again, that we got to clear that up. And then just the turnover problem we had, at the guard spot, and we got some inexperience there, and that kind of experience is priceless. And so there'll be a lot of film watching, a lot of growth, and that's how you grow. And like I said, when you have high character guys that want to get better and want to do better, and they will.
So it was 6 with 2:15 to go. I think you're down 6. And
Yeah.
You were just kind of staring off into the crowd and looked like you were just really frustrated, kind of thinking what
Yes.
was happening here. Maybe you wanted to, but what was at that point? I guess.
At that point, I'm thinking, I squeeze it and I squeeze it, I get no lemonade. Like that's, you're just trying to keep turning it over. And as far as not turning it over, that was what we were trying not to do, but turning the lineup, find the right combinations, because some combinations were working a little bit defensively and then wouldn't work offensively. And then some would work offensively and wouldn't work defensively. And so, we just kept trying to find different ways to make a lineup work and matchup work. And then we threw the press out and got really aggressive, and that was great. And then, I was really proud of Omar because he was in a lot of foul trouble. Things hadn't gone his way all night, and he gave us some big, big minutes down the stretch with his presence and his, body. And then, Max made a really heady play to stop that ball on that last possession and make them kick it because they were hard, kind of goes against what we do a little bit, but that's the feel for the game. Like he made them make a jump shot instead of just getting to the rim, because that guy was going to get to the rim, kicked it to the corner, and Max sprinted to close him out. Then we were fortunate that he missed it. But that's a great, I told you that was a really good team. They only have 2 losses. Their 2 losses were St. John's, and they had a shot to win it. And LSU, they dominated a major portion of that game. They just had a little bit down the stretch, a little bad luck. And, they're going to win a lot of games, and we had to beat them. They weren't going to give us that game, and somehow we found a way in the last 2 minutes, and, just by staying in the fight. That's what we always talk about. And so it was a really cool night to have the football team here and the excitement of all that stuff and their great accomplishments, and then have Bronco Nation. I mean, that was the difference in the game, too, at the end. They felt the crowd, and we felt the crowd, and it was exciting. People got their money's worth again at Extra Mile, and, I may die on the sidelines from a heart attack, but it's probably worth it if you get the win, right?
To win a game like this where you guys were out-rebounded by 9,
Yeah.
turned the ball over 20 times, still found a way to win.
Yeah.
What does that say about this team and their willingness not to quit?
Yeah, and just because that feels frustrating, and it's frustrating for them. And we got our, it's frustrating for me at times, but we got ourselves back to center and like, okay, that doesn't matter now. That's what we talked about in the huddle. None of that matters. Now let's go find a way to win it. We'll fix all that other stuff later. That's for down the road, and we can do that. But here's the deceiving thing: like, we turned over 20 times, but we only lost a turnover battle by 1. And that we played some pretty good defense in stretches, and in stretches when we needed it most.
How many guys hit 2 and 1 threes in a game?
He's got to have the record in the country. I mean, was it 2? It seemed like it was 3 or 4. I mean, it was. How many was it? I don't know.
Are you seeing that in practice?
Yeah. But we in practice, you got to be a little more careful because, you don't want, I mean, it's a rule to protect the shooters. You can't come under him. And he elevates so high and his shot's so high that the only way you can kind of bother a shot is kind of come into him. And, that's the rule. You got to let the guy land. And a lot of times they don't because they're trying to get into him and he's elevating. He doesn't fade out of it. And he shoots it right. And teams are so worried about his threes, they come into him. To score 27 points on 11 shots couldn't be more efficient. Couldn't. There's guys that'll get 27, but it'll take them 20 shots to do it. And, that's just so impressive. 27 points, 4 rebounds. I couldn't get him and Tyson out at all to give them a rest. And, but they're just such tough guys. Do you want to be tired or you want to win? And they don't want to be tired. They're going to find a way.
Leon, it feels like he can play almost all 5 positions for you right now, at least 1 through 4. It feels like
Yeah.
he's taking that next step. Like if he's in the NBA, he's a 2 guard, and he looks like an
Yeah.
NBA 2 guard.
Yeah.
His versatility. I mean, you can really play him. Maybe
Yeah.
kind of like an Abu.
Yeah, they're a lot different though because Abu's stuff was power to the rim, and Buzo has that. But Buzo's an elite shooter. What was he from the line tonight? 6 for 9. And how about that last one? That was, if he doesn't make that, we don't win. And that was so clutch. But it goes to, I saw that competitive toughness that I've seen out of Tyson, Max, and Buzo. I saw those 3, and I think that got permeated through the team down the stretch. They were like, "Wow, these guys aren't going to let us lose. Well, let's get on board too." And when we get, everybody playing their best, which we're not even close to yet, and playing the right way together, he's got a chance to be a good team. But we got to make a big jump. I said there's room for 40% in getting better, and this team can get a lot better, and then they can be really good. But we can't be good until 20 turnovers and figuring, the guard play out a little bit. And they will. I have a lot of faith in those guys.
Max hit some big free throws, and they say he's doing some other things, but he was talking about just the frustration with the shooting, woes, I guess. But how do you get him going? I guess it's coming at some point here soon.
Yeah, it's coming. I think getting back here, and he had some sickness on the road when we were fighting through that, and I think a game like this just gets him back into that flow of just competing. When he just competes his tail off, and that's when the ball goes in for him, and it will. I mean, some of his misses just rattled in and out. It's just a weird game sometimes that it goes like that, and then all of a sudden it'll just go whack, whack, whack. So those are coming. We all know that. We've seen all this stuff before, especially when you have the knowns. Tyson, Buzo, Max are the knowns. And it doesn't mean they're going to be perfect every night, but, when the year ends, the numbers will be where they're supposed to be.
Does it make it even give you more confidence? We were talking to Max, and you've been saying this for years, but even sometimes if maybe the best play is for Max to shoot a 3, he'll always make that second pass.
Yeah.
And maybe even tonight he had some opportunities to get
Yeah.
himself going.
Yeah, and
He
no
finds
doubt.
the better, and that just gives you confidence. He's still
Right. He
Max.
still has the feel. And early, a bunch of those Buzo 3s were because, they're a really tough defensive team on the ball and strong side. Max skipped it across to Buzo, a couple great plays, and, got him shots. He got him a lot of shots with the way he skipped the ball out of there and got it to Buzo's side a couple times. So I thought he did, they have him for 3 assists, but I thought a couple times he got it out of there, maybe even to the top of the key, and it got swung to Buzo because he got it out of there. He just has such a good feel that it makes the guys around him better.
We've talked a lot about how, your schedule is gonna look good at the end of the season.
It will.
Just getting this win, what's it gonna mean for your resume?
Yeah.
Maybe a seed or 2 two higher, depending on where you guys are sitting.
Well, that's a lot of water under the bridge till that. That's
Yeah.
just,
But just how good Bo was.
Yeah, I mean, here's the other, like, we just beat St. Mary's, a team that a lot of people picked to go to the Final Four, and St. Mary's going to win 9 out of the next 10, maybe more. Worst case, probably 8 out of 10, and you're going to look and go, wow, that number helps you. That's good, and I think this is a team. The team we played tonight has got that kind of, that they're in a good basketball league, and they're going to win a lot of games, as you can see. They're going to be a hard out.
Roddy had 6 turnovers tonight. I mean, you mentioned this point guard trying to get that going.
Yeah.
How do you get that going?
Well, we spend a lot of time watching film, a lot of time coaching, a lot of time, and those guys are willing. They're listening, and they're, but his athleticism helps us, but then it's got to help us. It can't hurt us at times. Against a team like that, it's a team similar to Texas A&M last year as far as the way they play, and we had success last year because we played so under control against A&M, and his speed, the game speeds up, and they're good when they speed you up like that. And so you just got that's experience. Be able to play slow when he needs to play slow, get by somebody, and then slow down the mind and know what picture you're looking at. And it's just a lot of reps doing it, and a lot of watching video with it. But that's what we're here for, the coaches, to make him better. And the guy you saw tonight, my vision is in a couple months, you'll be like, man, think how much better he is now against this press than what he was against those guys. That's development, and that's maturity, and that's our job to coach.
I know it necessarily didn't show up in the stat sheet, but with Keene and Meadow, you had the big 3, and then Keene and Meadow, the 5 of them out there together for a while.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned foul trouble and stuff, but what do you like in terms of the athleticism versus size when you play Keene and Meadow together?
Yeah, and Keene has a good feel. He's just got to get more experience. Like, they switched on the ball screen, he got caught in the air and threw it and turned it over. He's just got to calm down too. But he's a freshman and hasn't played for 2 years or 2.5 years. So you got to kind of live through some of that, and it's a lot easier to live through it when you win than when it costs you a game, and it didn't. All right.